Hey everybody, I bet you're wondering why you're staring at a hat. Not a particularly attractive hat either. This is not a normal thing for the Tennessee Fats channel. It's normally not 2 hours of staring at a hat in a light box. That's not something I've done, although now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should do that. No, this, believe it or not, is my flea marketing hat. When I'm flea marketing, this is the hat I wear. It's a particularly ugly hat, and this is what I wear when I'm out in a particularly ugly situation. I can tell you the number of times I've been flea marketing, and I'm turning that into a verb here, flea marketing, in the last decade is 5 times. 5 times in a decade. That gives you a good sense of how often I go. Mostly because I have had no luck ever in flea marketing. That being said, this last weekend I had nothing to do. The kids didn't want to go out. They were busy. And my wife didn't want to go out. So I was on my own. And I live in one of the last neighborhoods that actually has a viable flea market within 5 minutes of my house. There aren't too many flea markets left anymore. What's happening is as urban centers are growing, real estate values are going up. As real estate values are going up, these flea markets are getting driven out as developers are buying the land to put in things like, townhouses, high rises, subdivisions, strip malls, movie theaters, anything else that would make more economical sense than a flea market, because they don't make economical sense in most cases. That being said, they are kind of fun to go to. I can tell you, as a guy who's been collecting comics for a long time, I have never had any luck in them. I don't think I've ever actually seen a comic or two in a flea market. I have one experience in the last 5 that's been really good, where I found a couple good things. Other than that, it's just junk. And you really need to know what you're buying, because quite frankly, a lot of places will just rip you off wholesale. But that being said, I went out this last weekend to one near my place, which had an antiques market. I don't know how many of you have been in an antiques market lately, where you've got a management company that rents the space, and then smaller booths within it are rented out by antique dealers. Antique dealers, I'm guessing, are also something that's going the way of the dodo, because they don't make economic sense anymore. So it only makes sense now for them to have shared overhead in these little management spaces, and that's where they sell their stuff. So when I was there wearing this hat, I wandered past, and they have their little booths that are glass, and you have keys which can get into them. And I see one booth that has 6 short boxes of comics, and it just says comics. And I said, well, you know what? I'm already here. I've got my can of Sprite. Why not see what I'm going to find? And I can tell you, I must have been the first person to do so, because those boxes had some good modern material in them. Now, modern is not my thing. I've already said this many times. Modern comics, I don't buy. But when given the opportunity and the price is right, I think anybody will buy anything. So I did spend some money on modern comics. So let's put the flea marketing hat aside, and let's get into the haul. Alright, so we've removed the box, we've got the comic holder stand thing sitting here. Let's start going through this. First one I got. Again, modern books, not my cup of tea, but you know what? When the price is right, I'll pick them up. Captain America Annual number 8. This is a classic Captain America Wolverine cover. People go crazy for this old Mike Zeck cover. I don't know why. I've never owned it. I've never read this book, but I know it's one where I'm thinking to myself, and I always have been thinking to myself, when I see it and it's the right price, pick it up. It's in fairly good condition, no spine ticks, no dings around the edges, staples are solid, and this was less than 15 bucks. Okay, that's not bad. Let's get that over. Number 1. These ones were duplicates. And most of you are going to look at this and say, what's the importance of this one? There you go. Uncanny X-Men number 248. The importance of this. This is the first Lee art, down here in the corner, on the X-Men. The guy who quintessentially remade the whole X-Men franchise. This is the first time he did art of the entire thing. Very different style, very different direction the X-Men took on this one. This is an important one. And knowing where Lee's gone with his career since then, yeah, this is a good one to have. Both of these, less than 10 bucks. Not bad, and they're in fairly good condition. I think the one has a couple little spine ticks along it. Not even spine ticks, actually, they're just where the color breaks. Staples are a little offset. Who cares? Not bad again. 20 bucks. Oh, less than 10 a pop. Here we go. One of my favorites for the day. Uncanny X-Men number 207. Classic Wolverine cover. This one is huge. 1985, Wolverine's just coming into his own, and they give him this. Everybody wants to get their hands on this. especially high graded. This one actually grades fairly high. It has one little bump over here on the top corner. This would be a 9.2 plus or minus, I don't know, a half a grade. It's a nice one. Again, 20 bucks. Okay, last one that comes in here, another set of duplicates, but again, under 10 bucks a pop. There you go. Uncanny X-Men number 283. What's important about this one? This is the first full appearance of Bishop. Bishop in the 1990s became an important character. You know what? He's died off since then. Hasn't become that important. He's become less and less of a character. But this was very important at the time. These were about $5 a pop. Heavily offset printing on these, which is common for this issue. I've got many other issues of this one, or copies of this one that are the same, that I just held on to over the years. I've got graded copies that don't have any issues with this, but for under $5 a pop, this was another great find. So all in all, I mean, a very small comic haul in total. We got what, 6 books? Yeah, 6 books. Less than $100, less than 60 bucks, I think. Yeah, and all in, some great value there. Just from walking through a flea market. I was really surprised. Anyways, short haul for this one, everybody. But again, once again, the idea here being when you're at a flea market and you see a bunch of short boxes that are behind glass, maybe you want to ask to go through them. I can't say I understand the bagging and boarding on this, where they're all in golden size, which are massive, wide things, which I'm going to have to redo in my lights to get them nice and safe and snug to store them. But, you know, for a couple high keys, these are some good ones to find. So once again, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, click on the hat that stays on down here through the entire videos. That's the subscribe button that shows you what we're doing at all times and gets you the notifications if you ring the bell, of course. And up here is a playlist that's going to show up. That's going to be all the other times where I'm reviewing comics. The last one, of course, is the one that pops up over here. It's the giant hat, just to hammer the point home. Subscribe, please. Anyways, I'm not going to waste more time. Nathan, get us the heck out of here.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Oh, you think so, eh? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to unplug this first.